Question number 11, Jan Logie.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Women and asks, does she stand by the Prime Minister's statement on the gender pay gap that, quote, "I don't think it's discrimination, it's just the occupations they're more typically involved in," unquote?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Louise Upston.
Yes, in the context in which it was given.
Supplementary, Mr
Supplementary
Speaker.
question, Jan Logie.
Could the Minister tell us how this government will address the underpayment of women-dominated industries such as midwifery, rest home work, social work?
Mr
The
Speaker.
Honourable Louise Upston.
Mr Speaker, the issues associated with the gender pay gap are complex, and the member raises issues around pay equity, which, as the House is aware, is a matter that's before the courts at the moment. So while I'm watching the issues carefully, I'm not able to comment while it's before the courts.
Supplementary, Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question, Jan Logie.
Does the Minister think it's acceptable that, due to government inaction, the only recourse women have to address such inequalities seems to be through our courts?
Speaker.
The Honourable Louise Upston.
Mr Speaker, I've said on numerous occasions that the gender pay gap is unacceptable. It's a very complex issue with a range of contributing factors. So some of the measures that the government has been undertaking include getting more women into high demand, high growth and high paid industries such as construction, and we've doubled the number in Canterbury in the last 2 years. We're increasing the number of women in leadership. We've made employment legislations to increase paid parental leave, have parental tax credits, and most importantly, Mr Speaker, the introduction of the right for every worker to request flexible work. In addition, we are directly countering unconscious bias.
Supplementary, Mr
Supplementary
Speaker.
question, Jan Logie.
Given that the gap between men and women's median hourly earnings has risen by almost 20% in the past year, and not one ministry has reducing the gender pay gap as an action point in their statement of intent, will the government put a comprehensive plan in place to reduce the gender pay gap?
The Honourable Louise Upston.
Mr Speaker, that member will be pleased to know that actually the State Services Commission is leading the work in the public sector pay gap. It is currently decreasing. It's 14.1%, so it's coming down. But the member will also be pleased to know that the SSC has a particular focus on developing future leaders and has a specific focus around increasing the ability for public sector employees to have increased levels of flexibility, which, as that member will know, is a significant aspect that women require in terms of supporting them in employment.
Question number 12, Phil Twyford. Thank you.